I'm not denying that, but I will say I really don't give a fuck if other people are going to perceive us as weak, right? Because I'm also a firm
That
belief
would
that
be their mistake.
I'm a firm belief that yeah, people fuck up, and sometimes people need to have like a come to Jesus moment, like the last final fucking straw. Which is why I'm not opposed to a lengthy suspension as to opposed to straight out firing. But it would be under the assumption that, like, he can't fuck up anymore. And I hate the idea that anyone feels as though they're going to have to walk on eggshells. But when you fuck up so much that the other alternative is you being fired, unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation. At least for me. Again, I'm certainly not opposed to outright firing. But I question if there's more value in like a 2 or 3 week suspension, and giving him the opportunity to improve. Again, not opposed. So I'm more than willing to hear what you guys have to say.
Um,
As a
may
fucker,
I
how do you
speak?
feel? Yeah.
As a fucker,
Carmine, use the light in the blinds.
they call me soft, gelatinous, weak, overbearing, too caring, crybaby. Woe is they. I feel their plight. They're playing. That's who I am. I'm the weak people's captain. Always tries to give them an out. But I've been trying to change, and I've noticed in a position of power, there must be an iron fist. For if there is no iron fist and you just meet them with a velvet glove, the standards will drop. Everything will be acceptable. And the next thing you know, we will be living in a savage society. And no roles. And then what the blaners claim we are will become true. But it is not true. Do I think Kokolski took that gun knowing he wasn't supposed to?
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
There were many markers and indicators in his behavior that suggest as much. The first thing, the fact that he left out the class 2 in the description section of the report, it was too obvious and too deliberate of a exemption for it to be an accident. I believe he was aware, and the fact that he pulled it out afterwards, he knew what he was doing. Asking Bobby, he said so himself. Bobby was his scapegoat. He took every action he could to ensure he got what he wanted. That is what the fucker does. That is what the fucker does. Take what thou can and do not get caught. Unfortunately for him, he kept biting, chewing, forgot that there was a line, a limit, a point where we will know. And that point was when he took the gun to the prison. He had plenty of opportunities not to go down the route that he did, but he did it anyway. Is it because he thinks that our command structure or we would overlook it and say, it's whatever. Uh, we'll let him slide. We're not assholes. Possibly. I know if I was an officer and Carmine was my captain, I would do a little bit of fuckery, expecting my captain to have my back because my captain would see himself in me. And I'd take advantage of that. I digress. I think he did wrong, but I do not think he should be fired. That does not make me weak. And I'll elaborate why I do not think he should be fired. I think he should not be fired because being fired is, that is, other than pressing charges, that is the greatest loss or death. That is one of the greatest losses an officer could be dealt in this police force. A termination, you know. I think that type of punitive action should be saved for the highest echelon of mistakes, corruption.
Hold on. Wait. Carmine, out of the
Yes.
spotlight for a moment.
Okay.
Out of the spotlight for a moment.
Okay.
Someone who hasn't been fired, can I get your opinion?
Okay.
Perfect.
As somebody that has never even been caught to be dapped, which everyone is always surprised about, because I never get caught with my stupid stuff. I just do it, and no one ever finds out. or I gaslight people after I do it into thinking that I didn't do it. Pekulski knew what he was doing. I can say with 100% certainty. After my conversation with him, I told him not to use that thing. I heavily implied that I would be very pissed off if he was out there shooting that gun. He knew what he was doing, and he didn't like the answer he got. It did take him a few weeks to. His guard was up. His guard was up after that conversation. He was using that MP5. I think he decided enough time has gone, and he just started using it. He just started using the heavy rifle. Now, do I think that this is the end of the world, what he did? I think it's pretty bad. I think his reaction to it's bad. I think the actions itself is probably amongst the dumber things that you can do, but overall, I don't think it's the end of the world. I do think some form of punishment needs to be done. And while I don't want to say, hey, this is what your punishment is. I don't want something like PD toe to be a punishment. But I do think that we could possibly suspend him for a little bit. And maybe every day he clocks on and does a lot of towing, at least 5 to 10 tows a day. Maybe we take a day off the suspension. Maybe we let him work.
Okay, someone not so biased
stuff.
regarding toe. Can I get you up here?
Okay, well, what else is there? PD, we need PD toe. We need PD toe. Let's be honest.
Out of the spotlight. Out of the spotlight.
Jesus.
Maxwell, thank you. Thank you.
It's transferring him for Bjorn off the table.
We don't need to make a trade.
Stupid.
Damn, she looks so good in that light right now. Like an angel.
Thank you, sir. Well, as somebody who has been dapped but never officially told, just found it in a command report after I was promoted, and never fired either. You know, I like to say, yeah, I'm one of the fair ones. I know people make dumb ass mistakes a lot. The intent is what matters to me. Do I think he did this in malice?
Kind of like a
No.
middle ground.
Do I think
a
he's
yes,
a
but
fucking
no.
dumbass for what he did? Yes. How would I handle it if this was Carmine or Arjun or Jeb? Kind of take all those things into account. I don't think he's a terrible person. However, I think he got a little cocky and it caught up with him.
I agree with that.
So for that, I think if he's not fired, he definitely needs to be knocked down some pegs. I think a suspension is a great idea. As far as PD toe, etc., I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I think you're not going to learn from it unless you actually face some kind of consequence, right?
Agreed.
I think if he got fired, I don't think he'd want to work for BCSO, etc. However, that option's always there for people we fire, right? So I don't think it'd be the end of the line for him. Do we think that this officer is worth completely cutting off because of his mistakes? I feel like that's kind of what we need to look at today. Is it so bad that he can't come back from it, or we can't trust him, or
I
he
think
doesn't respect
King
enough
says
what we're trying
fire.
to do here? I feel like those are the things we need to look at, and I think a lengthy suspension would suffice. But I'm tending to lean towards whatever the majority goes with today.
All right.
As probably the officer who has been suspended more than any other officer ever has been.
I mean,
No, I was definitely
Oh, man.
suspended way more than you. Way more. It's not even comparable. You think you're like me. Oh, how funny. Poor Carmine. How funny. I've been suspended for it all. Telling my FTO that why don't we have plant guns with us? Doing acid, failing to write reports, telling my superiors to get fucked. Doing all of that. Hell, I've even been suspended multiple times while I was the sheriff by Matt Rhodes' husband, even though they were unjust. Does a suspension correct the behavior? No. No, it doesn't.
Well, I mean,
Do I?
eh,
I want to touch base on something that Maxwell said, 'cause I believe it is important. Now, me, I mainly wish to see you all decide today. I think it's good for the department for you guys to be on the same wavelength. That would make me happy. But I do want to touch on one thing that Maxwell said, because I do believe my interpretation was slightly different. I believe this guy did everything maliciously. I believe that knowing that you're doing wrong. And I believe the Tails, we kind of caught him a little bit. Carmine kind of caught him with that question. Did anyone overhear this? Did anyone hear this at all?
Which question?
Back in my KDA days.
Well,
The
the
leaving out
question
the
was,
class 2 in the report.
Ah, yes.
I believe truly that he did operate knowing that he was doing wrong. Therefore, he operated in bad faith, which in a court of law would be malicious. He didn't know how bad it was or how bad it would get. And this is going to have to be something that you're all going to have to, I feel, utilize in your decision making. Didn't really seem like he cared too much. I would have preferred to see him cry, grovel,
I kind
beg
of
for mercy.
interrupted as he got to the emotional bits because they weren't really relevant. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. He could have groveled through it. Could have groveled after that. He could have gotten. You see, will he be missed? Will people even notice if we fire him? Does it send the message that needs to be sent? Not just to our department, but to the ones outside of it. They're the things we have to think of while moving forward. It truly is a political game. King, I want you to come up here. I think that you.
I think it goes, yeah. Yeah, no, I think he should be fired.
You won already.
I did not appreciate his tone. I didn't appreciate that he was laughing. Hold on, let's see how this goes.
Trust and responsibility. Two things that I believe that every officer should be good with. We should be able to trust them out in the field, and we should trust them with responsibility. Bukowski was given the responsibility of taking care of extreme, not just any paperwork, but paperwork regarding an officer who had died. And not just any officer, Jimbo fucking Sutton. What he did with this responsibility was fuck up paperwork to the point where it looks almost malicious intent with falsifying it and leaving out certain parts if you don't know the full context. We trusted him to put the firearms in the evidence locker and be left there as they should have been completely. You know, maybe he could have asked further down the line. Maybe he could have been given permission to have it on his wall at his house or something after the 30 days had been gone. But before then, he didn't do that. What in fact happened with this trust that we gave him is that he pissed it up the wall, is what he did. He put the firearm in there. Less than 2 minutes later, he takes it out. It's never seen or heard of again, other than a couple of days later, speaking to Jeb, saying, hey, can I use this? Oh, I can't use this out in the field? Okay. Doesn't replace it in the evidence locker. Instead, keeps it in his car until he's found to have it in his car by Aaron.
It's always Aaron, isn't it, Carmine?
Aaron is the one that knocks.
It was Carmine and Alana.
So what are your thoughts, King?
It comes down to, can we trust him to have that kind of responsibility again? Will he fuck up and do something like this again, just trying to be a silly little guy when actually he's potentially fucking with a major case that still was unsolved and unfinished. Can we trust him to have the kind of responsibility the police officers are meant to have out in the streets? Truth be told, after everything he said there, what the fuck was he doing? He literally dug himself a bigger grave. I do not understand what he was. Some of his responses were, oh, I don't recall. This ain't a fucking court of law. This is in front of your goddamn employers. I was hoping he would sit here and tell the truth, tell us everything. We're like, yes, I fucked this up. And yes, admittedly, he did say he fucked up. He knows he fucked up. But all this, I don't recall. I don't remember horse shit. I don't fucking buy that. And I don't like it. And I am disappointed in the fact that he didn't just tell us outright what he was thinking and why he did it. You don't just on a whim decide to take a fucking gun that's from a dead officer. You don't do that. And then forgetting about it? Fuck off. I don't believe that either. So it comes down to, do we believe everything he said? Can we trust him to be a police officer again? Can we trust him to have the responsibility to not fuck up again and make us look like morons? That's what it comes down to. And also, it comes down to, well, I guess, would I want him fired or would I want him suspended? So it's a tricky one, because if you fire him, what is going to happen? Is he truly going to wait around? Is he going to be going out there trying to get a normal job and try and get his PD job back after 30 days? Or is he going to disappear and we never see him again until 30 days time, and then he comes around asking for his job back? Or is he going to become a criminal? Judging from what I've seen, he's been running PD tow for the past couple of days. Is that correct?
Normal towing. I don't think he's been on duty as PD tow.
Oh, yeah. So he's been running normal tow, and he's been out there alone, and he's been living his life despite the fact that he's been suspended. A lot of people would just go off duty, and we wouldn't see or hear from them again until it comes to their hearing or whatever. But he's out there, been out there living his life. Frankly, I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
That's true. That is pretty.
Do I want to see the guy fired? No, not really. No. Do I think that a firing will benefit him? No, I don't see how a firing is necessarily going to help him learn in this case. What I do believe will help him learn is most likely a lengthy suspension. I would say up to 2 to 3 weeks, like others have said. But please, when you guys think about this, think, can you trust him with the responsibility? Can you trust him to do the right thing the next time something like this happens? I've been Albert King. Thank you for your time.
I have a different take.
Wow, that was beautiful.
I need to say this.
Is this in
King
reference to potentially being fired?
Yes.
Out of the
King has brought something
spotlight.
to my
Out of the
attention.
spotlight. Out of the spotlight.
All right.
Okay, back in. I'm just kind of curious. Go back in.
Okay. King said something there that has opened my eyes.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing. Kukulski, is he lying? I think probably, but I can't say for certainty. If we're contemplating the idea of suspending him for 2 weeks, I say as a litmus test to see how he reacts, because he said if he was fired, he'd do everything he can to prove his way back into the police force. Maybe this is I'm overcooking here. But what if we fire him to see how he reacts? Fire him to see what he does. Fire him if he's truly a man of his word. A test of conviction, and if he really stuck true to his oath. See if he'll join the ranks of those that join a gang as soon as they get fired.
Like
Or if
Forte, that bitch.
Or if he will write it out, contemplate, and grow from his mistakes.
Sorry about that, King. That was with me.
Sorry, yeah, true, it was. Sorry, yeah.
We just
He's
left.
still a bitch, though.
I don't know if I want to set the man up. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Like-
kind of toxic, to be fair.
What do you mean? I'm
Well,
not
Damn,
this is
Carmine,
you.
coming
This
from
is
you
you
is
trying
crazy as
to.
fuck.
This is you trying to like fucker him into more fuckery.
Right?
You never know
No.
what might go through someone's head. He might just turn around and start doom spiraling. It's the end of the world. Apparently, he's been going around to people in the street saying, you know, doomsday is on Monday. I'll find out if I have a future and all this kind of. You know, I don't want him to, spiral out of control or anything like that. I do think it's a good idea, though, but it might go wrong.
He might Lenny Hawk us. I ain't messing with somebody
True.
like that.
No,
I
I
don't
asked
think
him.
he
Might
I
will.
come
asked
and
him.
shoot the workplace up.
I
I'm
asked
sure
him if
he's
he brought a gun to
expecting
the
it.
meeting. I asked him if he brought a gun to the meeting. He
I'm
said
sure he's
no.
He should have said
expecting it.
yes. He
I mean,
should have said
listen,
yes.
I'm
I
not.
said foolish.
I'm not opposed to again like a 2 week or 3 weeks, it doesn't matter, like 2 weeks, 14 days. He's already been suspended for 4. I don't mind even taking that into account, so like realistically it's 10 from today, right? If it's a 2-week suspension. But the expectation here is that we can never, regardless of circumstance, we can never see this behavior again, because if we do, it means that he didn't learn, right? And at that point, you can't sit there and go, he fucked up before, he fucked up again, he fucked up 3 times, then he ended up in a high command panel, then he got a 14-day suspension, and then he did it again. I'm a firm belief that no one should ever be surprised about the consequences of their actions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think firing is definitely, obviously, last resort, right? I think this, in my opinion, 2-week suspension, he's already essentially served 4 of them, is his come to Jesus moment of like, Kukulski, we cannot see you like exhibit this behavior again. Because if we do, you will be out of a job. And at that point, it is been well explained to him. It is documented. And if he were to do it again, that falls on him and nobody else. He cannot complain. He wasn't given notice. He can't complain about anything. He was given ample opportunity to resolve everything. And I extend the 2-week thing instead of 3 or firing, primarily on the basis that despite him being suspended, he has been actively around and doing things, and not just, sitting at home on the couch, twiddling his thumbs, waiting for a determination as to whether or not he's being fired.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah, 100%. And that's not necessarily the only reason, because again, I started with at minimum 2-week suspension, at least for me, sits well. That's where I stand. I think given what everyone has said, regarding, like, do we think he should be fired? I would say 14-day suspension, and it just be drilled into him that this shit can't happen again. Because at that point, that's all on fucking him. I know I'm going in circles here, but I can't stress enough how much I will die by no one should ever be surprised. And he shouldn't be surprised here, but like, we'll fucking spell it out for him so he understands the severity should something like this happen again. So
Sounds good to me.
what or how do you guys feel?
I think Aaron hasn't been in the light yet.
Oh yeah, Aaron, get up there. Holy shit.
Yeah. Let's get this.
What's
hot
your
take.
stance? So, you're the catcher of fuckers, so this is gonna be a good one.
Fucker catcher.
catcher.
Yeah.
You are the
like that.
fucker destroyer, not just the catcher, the fucker
Actually-
destroyer.
Actually, I voted against firing Arjun when he fucked up, just for the record.
Ooh.
Oh, she did. That's
Ooh,
true.
okay.
She did. But
I'm
Looking so good in
mixed
that light and powerful.
opinion. I think he should get suspended. He should come back as a PPO and get retrained. And I think Carmine should be his mentor.
Oh
That
my
is-
god.
that is
Carmine
like
is
the
too
only thing I
attached
can-
to them as is.
the
Carmine
only-
gets attached to every fuck up in the LSPD.
he does.
Every fuck up, Carmine's like, well, I'm just a white guy from New Jersey,
Georgie.
Hobobo.
Abominable.
And, I don't think
Heavy stuff. I think Arjun should be his mentor.
Now, you know what?
I respect her. I'm just saying.
I approve of this, but like, I'm also sitting here going, we're letting Arjun be the like mentor of the guy who had the gun meant to hunt him.
True. It almost killed him, by the way. He was out for a
I'll be
week.
his mentor and make his life hell.
Yeah, I
about-
like that one.
God. Mhm.
And
We
he
could
should
also, just
be a
second
strict
thought.
Phys class 2 sir.
I was gonna say we should make him use the Glock and like I want him to shoot down 5 people with it until he can earn his class 2 back.
Like a battle pass,
Yeah. That's yeah.
like a weekly goal.
We
What were
do
you
have to
gonna
look
say?
at it from another perspective as well.
Mhm.
If we go at him with a velvet glove as opposed to a closed fist, we give him a light slap. Is he more loyal or is he more likely to fuck around again thinking, hey, because I'm going to just weigh in on this. I do think the things that he has done, the spiking thing, that's not a big deal to me. The other thing ain't that big of a deal to me. But the taking of evidence and using it openly, knowing that he shouldn't be using it, I think this does actually fall pretty high up on the ladder of, especially because he knew what he was doing was fucking wrong. And for all we could have known, this could have fucked up the case. Now we're going to work strictly on absolutes, but we do have to keep in mind, is the suspension enough to correct the behavior with the retraining? Aaron Carter making him hate her. Is this enough? Is this enough? Type of message are we sending to the PD? Think about these things as they're very important, because who knows, in the future, one of you may be sitting in my chair. And you need to understand these things. Carmine, tell them how they need to understand the art of war and the 48 laws of power. Aaron, do you got any more you want to add?
It was more just to add, he did just come off of a suspension and do something on the day of coming back. Did he learn
That
no
is
24
true.
hours? No.
That's why I don't think I'd settle for anything less than a 2-week, because seemingly a 1-day suspension was nothing because he immediately did something stupid right after. And again, if at the end of the 2 weeks he ends up being a consistent fuck up, then he can be fired. Like I'm not saying that firing is like off the table in its entirety. But I think the general consensus is that he shouldn't be fired. But it was a severe enough fuck up to justify a pretty lengthy, in my opinion, suspension. Yeah, that's okay. Question: does anyone think, if you are going down the route of suspension, does anyone think it should exceed 2 weeks?
I think if it's over 2 weeks, you might as well fire somebody.
Mhm.
So I sort of kind of agree but disagree, because I'm also of the mindset that, like, do you know how people get fired and then rehired? I think it's kind of silly, because that just sounds like a 30-day fucking suspension, and you might as well just title it a 30-day fucking suspension, as opposed to, like, letting them get, I don't want to say bullied out on the streets as a civilian, without having a PD behind them, but their loyalty isn't going to stray very far during a suspension as opposed to a full-on firing, in my opinion.
True.
Whereas with the firing, you are severing ties. They have nobody. And historically, in the past, when people's lives are at risk, I mean, think of Snow before he got rehired, right? Like, his application went
Fuck that guy.
unresponded to. And then he ultimately ended up with the gang, knowing full well that there's a ton of people that hate him from when he was a cop. And if he didn't have protection from a group of people, he may as well have been dead. Now, I'm not saying that that's how everything here is going to play out. But Carmine, how miserable was your civilian life when you got fired?
I saved him.
The chief saved me. Saved me. The chief saved me.
Well,
So
I do
you-
remember seeing like multiple times a day that Carmine had been taken hostage. So
Mhm,
even that,
true.
like, I know he was getting hell.
Yeah,
My
and it's-
tolerance is a lot higher than the average
Kolsky was a
person.
hostage on Friday already too.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, with the firing, you are pretty much saying, we are severing ties. You go your own way. You can attempt to reapply in 30 days or after 30 days. But if we can all collectively agree that someone is likely going to be rehired, in my opinion, it is so much better to structure it as a 30-day fucking suspension. Like, take whatever time you need, and, like, come back a better person than you were before, especially if it's someone. Actually, let me rephrase. Unless we really don't give a fuck about someone and we want them to go to another department so that they're not our problem, then I can see the firing being, like a strategic thing. But otherwise, I'm gonna be honest. The Miller situation, that should have just been that should have just been a lengthy suspension, if anything.
So I agree with both of those things. I think that if you're firing somebody, that you shouldn't be rehiring them.
Yeah.
I also think, just me personally, after 2 weeks, that's a long time. I just think anything after 2 weeks, there's not really going to be a difference in. At that point, you're just punishing a little more. I just don't think there's going to be anything they learn from the difference of 2 weeks to 4 weeks.
I agree. How long did those people get sentenced for Jimbo's murder?
A lot less than 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then
I
5 years, maybe.
Okay, then
Person goes 7 years.
listen, I'm still content with 2 weeks, with 4 of those days essentially having been suspended already, so it'd be 10 from now. I think, in my opinion, that's a fair middle ground, considering this is something that could have resulted in him having been fired. That is my stance. I think we can all collectively agree it's not going to be a firing, so how about we throw up times for how long
2
the
weeks.
suspension should be. Okay, King 2 weeks. Maxwell?
2 weeks.
Armine?
2 weeks and his class 2 cert pulled.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I
100%.
forgot about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't consider that either. Yeah, that's a given. That's going to happen given what already occurred. Jeb?
1 week time served, by the way.
1 week?
Time served.
Why?
I'm joking. It was a joke.
I was going to say he was only suspended 4 days
Oh
ago,
my
right?
God.
He's taking the piss out of criminals, I think.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Is this
I do-
5 months or I walk?
Didn't act.
Okay.
100% out. Time served for good time.
No one's going to have to clarify Class 2 cert being revoked. That's happening regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I like 2 weeks. I like 2 weeks, but I would like there to be some way for him to prove to us that he's still working and stuff, and maybe to give him some sort of parole for good behavior, if that makes sense.
So
What
evaluate
about
first
reporting
week.
crimes?
That might get him killed.
I mean, I'm going to be
Oh.
honest. I've worked a food stall.
Non-assist.
I've seen shit happen in front of me. And you bet your ass I didn't say a fucking word, because if I did, I'm next.
Well,
Sorry.
if it's been a week and we see that this guy is all over the city, I would like to let us have a discussion about maybe letting him come
Dropping
back
it?
early.
I'm not
Just give him a parole
opposed.
officer.
Well, the thing is, I'm
check
not
in with.
opposed, right? But you guys have all collectively stated that, he's been seen around doing toe stuff, like, pending all this, right? How about we
Yeah.
just
He's a foot
continue?
fetishist now.
No, like, towing, Fred. He's not sticking a Bigfoot in his fucking mouth. Not that I'm aware of. Hey, listen, I'm not here to judge. Okay, I'm not here to judge. But with that, I mean, we could just, if we see him consistently, again, it's only going to be 10 days from now if we take into account the 4 days time served, right? It's not that big of a deal. If he's around during that time, maybe we bump it down to, like, I don't know, maybe we remove a few days. Maybe up to 3. So it ends up only being 7 days from now, assuming he is seen actively doing stuff and not just, doing nothing. That makes sense?
Yeah.
But we would need someone
Yep.
to monitor. And while I do see Kukulski, it's not on, like, a super frequent
Mhm.
basis to where I'd be able to do it, like, without issue. Aaron, how do you feel?
I think he should go back down to PPO and get retrained, just like Spectre did, just like Jack did. It doesn't have to be for long, but I do think there needs to be some sort of punishment in that way, and not just a suspension where he can just go and chill and do PD toe kind of thing.
I'm not opposed. What shift is he under?
1.
Shift 1? Okay. I mean, realistically, like, I don't necessarily think he needs like a full-on retraining. It would definitely be like PPO for a very short period of time. I'm not opposed to that. But like realistically, he's not going to have access to class 2 cert stuff, so that doesn't even need to be gone over. I mean, realistically, I would just want him to like go over spiking related stuff.
Honestly, I say we did it to Jack and we did it to Spectre. I think we've already set an example. I think I agree with Aaron.
How long were they PPOs?
Spectre got fired, so.
Well,
Spectre didn't show
Spectre's
up
a
after
couple of
becoming a
months.
PPO.
Oh, that's another whole situation.
okay.
Voss
What,
is a PPO
But
for
anyway.
around 2 weeks.
But yeah, Voss was almost, was it 2? It was a week, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
It was a week because Peach was, out. So we were kind of waiting for her, and then he just ended up getting promoted after like a week.
let's
It
be so
probably
fucking
would've
for
been
real.
shorter.
As a PPO, not much is gonna change. Like
The vehicles you drive,
yeah,
and that's big to him, I think. So
I think he drives a Taurus.
yeah, and you can't drive that as a PPO.
Perfect. 2-week suspension, PPO, class 2 cert removal, 4 days time served, and if we determine that his behavior during this time, isn't bad, and he's making a good faith effort into being around and doing stuff, we can drop the suspension time a few days. But I don't think we mentioned that to him. I think we just do it after having a discussion amongst us, and sort of like surprising him. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's a surprise thing.
Like, hopefully nothing else comes to light, right, guys? Because holy fuck.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
Yeah.
He does have a rep out on the streets at the moment, which is why I was glad that those guys got in touch regarding the pit thing. It was interesting because in that situation, when we asked them, is that they were asking us who did it, and then we said, well, who do you think it is? And the guy in the other room, like it literally in one of the other cells, was
Who
like,
didn't
"It's
have
Mikulski."
context.
No context. Like, who would you guys think hits or does the craziest spikes that you've seen? Immediately Kukolski. Which is why we were like, fuck. We got to do something about it. But yeah. I'm hoping that none of that continues.
Yeah, that's not good because it's a reflection on all of us, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like firing's not happening, right?
No, sir.
Correct.
Hold on, there is a lieutenant that has voiced their opinion about that is not in the room. Peach, and I
God.
quote, "I would like to recommend a Sparkles pink firing Sparkles as he has a long history of mishaps. Also, Jimbo is the gift that keeps on giving, even when he's dead." XO Peach.
Oh, she's
I
great.
love Peach.
Again, I will say this. If anything similar to this were to come up, especially in short proximity to this, like a firing can happen. It's not that firing is entirely off the table, but like, I'm just saying, we have some fuck ups, and I think it'd kind of be a slap in the face to overlook all of their fuck ups, and look at this and be like, yeah, you know what, fired. I don't know. I want to extend the same courtesy of like providing people a come to Jesus moment. Like, this is your last opportunity because the alternative is you're gone. Am I crazy?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm just going to repeat this. Make sure we're all on the same page. 2-week suspension, 4 days time served. So realistically, 10 days from now. Upon their return, they're a PPO. It's intended to be short term, but it is going to be dependent on, how things are upon their return. They're also having their class 2 cert removed. And then again, it doesn't have to be explained to him, but we will potentially take into account some additional time off of the suspension, should we see them, exhibiting good behavior while off duty and around. We good?
Mhm.
Fred, thoughts?
Listen. I think it's better for me to hear what you guys think. It's not really about what I think we should do in this situation. Clearly, I want you guys to make the decision here, and I will tell you afterwards. You know, if you guys already decided 2 week suspension, retraining, busted down to PPO, that's already been the decision that's made. That's what we're going
I
with?
believe that's the general consensus. Put your hands up if you agree. Hey, Jeb, Maxwell, Aaron, King, do you agree?
I do.
Okay. Carmine, you're texting.
Sorry.
Carmine, do you agree or?
I concur.
Okay. Yeah.
But
looks
I
like-
would like to say that this is where Peach would have vehemently disagreed and called you foolish and weak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have fired him to send a message to the rest of the people inside of the PD and out of it. I think that sometimes you do have to terminate people, even if you're not 100% on board with it. Sometimes you have to keep up
figured.
appearances.
I figured you'd say that.
I'm not surprised. All right, call him in. Someone get him.
I could have gone either
No,
way.
I got it.
Name.
I got this one. Hey, Kukulski, cock the hammer back.
What the fuck?
Kukulski.
Savage.
Oh, he fucking left.
Imagine he left to get food.
Oh my
Just
god.
starving.
I told him to go to the other room because I feel like the walls are a little
Yeah, they can be for
cheap
sure.
on the drywall. Yeah, I could hear you guys talking when I came walking up with him. So I'm like, yeah, that's not good.
Think about everybody. Think about. They will listen.
Who can I have document the conclusion in command report?
You want a high command or a regular command?
Just
Regular,
the
just so that
decision
everyone's
at
aware.
the top of the command report we already had.
Yes, actually,
Yeah,
that would be ideal.
Aaron, you're the best.
Welcome to the pit, where your fate will be determined, Kukulinski.
It's Kukulski.
What?
Whatever.
Hey, Kukulski.
Hello.
So obviously we've discussed the situation at hand here, right? We took into account a lot of different things. And truthfully, this could have gone in either direction. This could have, just as Jeb said, you know, either you're going to remain in the department or you're going to get fired. Lucky for you, you're not being fired. However, I will make this very clear. This is a sort of come to Jesus moment. This is a, you know, last opportunity. And with that, what we're going with here is going to be a 2-week suspension. Of that, you have already been suspended pending this for 4 days, so we will take that into account. So it'll realistically be 10. So you can return on the 27th. Upon your return, you are not going to have a Class 2 cert. That will be removed. Well, that's going to happen now, not upon your return. But upon your return, you will be demoted down to a PPO. This is intended to be relatively short term. But that's also going to depend on behavior, right? Like if you, as a PPO, continue with doing stupid things, that could be longer. Alternatively, considering this is your sort of come to Jesus moment, your last opportunity, it could also result in your firing. So essentially, don't fuck up. I hate the idea of somebody walking on eggshells, but when the reality here is the only alternative is you being fired, we need to ensure that stuff like this doesn't happen again. I've said this a million times. I and many others are of firm belief that no one should ever be surprised of the consequence of their actions. And even you stated today that you are likely going to be, you know, terminated. which tells me that realistically that probably or likely was justified. But we are hoping that this suspension is viewed in a more positive light, an opportunity for you to improve and not do a lot of these stupid things that you had done. All right. We expect
Thank you very
full
much.
transparency, full honesty from you. You know, if you fuck up, we expect that you are going to be the one to tell us of that fuck up first. Okay. I'm one of those people. Listen, I'm a self-snitcher. If I do something fucking stupid, ain't no one gonna find out from anyone else first but me. All right?
Well, yeah, all right. When I'm gonna snitch myself, I'm gonna brew the tea.
Perfect. But please, for the love of everything that is holy, don't do anything fucking stupid, Kukulski. You damn near got fired.
I won't. Thank you.
You
very
got
much,
saved
everyone.
by everybody in this room. Just so you're
Thank you, Chief.
aware. Everybody in this room, other than me, supported you staying on the force.
Thank you, Kyle.
You were good. You were
Chief,
gonna be
thank
my
you.
little scapegoat.
You were gonna be his Bobby.
You better lock it in.
I will
Moving
lock it
forward. Because everyone's
I
gonna
won't-
have an eye on you.
in. I won't disappoint ever again. Thank you very much
Good.
for this opportunity.
You better not disappoint, little jamming boy. You better not disappoint me, y'all.
He's
Otherwise-
Polish. He's Polish.
I'm Polish.
That is
whatever.
That is
Well-
mental.
Well, hold on, Kukulski. I don't listen.
All right, knock
You
your day
kind
off.
of just have to accept what you're not in a position to complain right now.
Yeah. Ah, yeah,
You just take it. No talking
absolutely.
back.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. So run back exactly what's happening, just so I make sure you understand.
2 weeks suspension, no classification, and being demoted to PPL. And I need to be careful.
4 days time served, so it's only the 27th you can resume operations. Second the clock turns over.
Understood.
All right. Can we expect, Kukulski, that we're not going to run into any stupid shit anymore?
I will never, ever again be a dumb fuck that I was.
Perfect. Now, Kukulski, you do understand that by understanding all of this here, there is zero way you could ever be surprised if you ended up getting terminated as a result of doing stupid shit, right?
Yes.
Hey, what up?
Perfect. All right.
We just wrapped it up.
You are
Yeah, we're
dismissed.
did our due diligence.
Thank you very much. everyone, for your
The
time.
expectation, by the way, is you are, still around doing things as you are now.
Yes.
All right. You're dismissed.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. Oh my gosh,
The main courthouse, the main one.
I can't believe this.
All right. Excellent.
We can hear you outside.
Perfect. Angel's on her way.
Oh, great.
Oh.
Yeah, next meeting.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Agreed.
I'm probably
course,
gonna.
Aaron
Do you
and
need me
King-
for this other one?
No.
Oh,
You
sorry.
don't have to be here if you don't want to be, but this might be more important than the last one.
Oh, where? What happened?
But also, I
spicy.
understand. Hey, you're a little outside of your normal. You know,
no,
I know
I'm
how it
staying.
is.
I'm staying. I need a
Mm.
You want
moment.
to
though.
stay?
Mm.
Yeah, I'm staying. Also,
Piss in
who's
that.
got food?
Piss on that shrub.
Yes, sorry. What?
I do
Who's
not.
got food for me?
I have
Do-
one
do you want
last
me to make a food
taco.
run?
Please.
Right.
I
beg
got
you, sir.
drinks.
Oh, there's a
I got
taco.
Rooker too.
Thank you so much.
peace,
Ooh,
Rooker.
Mary Mushkin taco. That's.
I've had that
interesting.
before.
You're eating a taco?
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I've had
I
that.
need a moment.
I've had that before. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wild.
That is that's just nuts, actually.
I can't say I'm surprised.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, she was my sugar mama. She used to make me get in the hot tub with her.
Huh?
Oh. Do you guys still get in the hot tub?
I haven't seen her in a while.
Is it just Angel, or are we gonna get like Ventura?
I think
And,
it's just Angel. All right, let's be honest. Probably busy. I mean, Who knows? I mean,
Let's see who's around. Ventura,
Who knows?
Angel. Rhodes, have you talked to Bill at all? Have you talked to him at
Yes,
all about?
I spoke with
aware of-
him. I spoke with
Okay.
him today. I also spoke with him a few days ago.
Okay.
We definitely need to not discuss. I've already spoken with Fred regarding the person or the individual he's proposing be in the department. But they want to make sure that person wants to make sure that it's an actual offer and not an offer that Bill is gonna fuck up.
Oh, we're talking about
Look,
that.
I think
right, the
Bill's
offer
gonna
for the
do
case,
good
yeah.
work for us.
No. The person that he also wants to be in the department.
Oh, does Maxwell
Oh.
know?
What
I-
person? Are we talking about Spectre or
No,
somebody else?
no.
Who are you talking
Jenny,
about?
I ruined it.
Spectre's dead to Rhodes and myself.
Yeah,
Me
pretty
and-
much.
Me and Rhodes will never allow that fucking guy to work at the LSPD ever.
I'm talking about
Mhm.
the prior mayor, Razzle.
Oh,
Wants
yeah,
to be
yeah.
a cop?
No,
Yeah, I'm good with that. I
no.
think he's
It's
great.
he'd be similar to
Mhm.
Bill,
Oh.
where like
Oh,
his
yeah, he's
focus would
great.
be law stuff, teaching people law stuff, sort of guiding them during
Yeah.
cases or trials.
So, yeah, something we've needed for a long ass time. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely
we-
game for that.
I'm
do
gonna
have a
go.
presence in the
Apparently, they've
raid.
just caught one of the lifers who broke out. So.
Ooh, okay.
What about
Oh,
the
okay,
go
Aaron.
get that
with the
money, Aaron.
raid,
Get the
Carter?
money.
Do you know what's going on with the raid?
Not a clue.
They pushed it back because of the panel.
Oh, so it's not happening today.
It's probably going to be stayed pushed back. 'cause they just
Well,
got
no,
the
I wanted to
offer.
know if Bill talked to you about the fact that Spectre came in to talk about the case last week.
Huh?
Right. That's why I was asking if you'd talked to him.
No,
because
not in
so-
that capacity.
So we remember we talked last Sunday, not this
yeah,
past
about
Sunday, but
like
the last Sun-
settling.
I tried to reach out, like, where you at, blah blah blah. He didn't respond. But then Monday, Aaron's like, he talked to me. Like Tuesday, when it's probably like Thursday, he came in and spoke with Bill and I to figure out how we were going to go about the case because Pride kind of left it to Bill. But Bill didn't know where Spectre was. Are we going to throw him under the bus, or is he actually going to like speak and say this is what happened? So Spectre came in and said that he's willing to be part of the case and go to court. If it
Angel
doesn't
of
settle.
Blaine
Hi, guys.
County.
I mean, the only
Hello.
reason we're
Hey, what's
we'll
up,
talk about this
Angel?
Yeah,
after.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
Angel.
What
What's going
about
on?
this room?
What's that?
Did you know about this room? No one ever uses it. We decided
I
to
used to
use
use this room a lot.
Yoink.
I bring people up here all the time.
it. What's with the
Yoink.
lipstick?
What do you mean? What's in the list? Like I'm trying something new. I'm not allowed to try something new.
Is that motor oil? Is that the same motor oil that PD Bot uses?
No,
Oh
it's
my
called
God.
black lipstick, Carmine.
Oh, okay.
I know that you haven't changed your style in 20 years, but I've tried
Oh.
to change things up a little bit.
Actually, it has. It's only been 6. Okay. It's
Mm.
only,
I did bring
only been
something
6.
up earlier. Y'all know that was it Schedule 1, that game where you make a bunch of drugs and sell them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh
told
my
Carmine he looked
God.
like the locals of that game after they got drugs.
kinda
Carmine, keep the
does.
glasses off, bud.
I don't want
That's
to.
crazy.
I don't want to. There's supposed to be a safe space for me. I'm
There are
supposed to
no
feel
safe
protected.
spaces in LSPD.
It's all right, Carmine.
Took us a while to handle that whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, he seems to be pretty happy. He's singing your
Yeah,
praise on
we-
Twitter right now.
Yeah, we gave
He's
him-
got a 2 weeks.
Well, everyone else wanted to, so it doesn't matter. We decided as a collective. All right, 14 days suspension.
That's cool.
On to the relevant
Promotion.
stuff here today.
Yeah.
The
I don't
Bjorn
really would-
stuff.
I'm only going to speak about this with Rhodes and Pred. No offense to you guys, but it's
All
pretty
right.
sensitive. So
We will leave the room. Question: Am I being investigated?
no, you're not being investigated.
Is a captain
Carmine,
being
we'll find out
investigated?
about it shortly,
No.
Carmine.
No, none of you guys are being investigated.
Come on,
Just making sure.
No, it's just about controlling the flow of information. Is all. All right, you guys. So I don't really know. Like, what do you guys know, and what are you looking for?
We know nothing.
Okay. Have you been
And
filled
we
on
went-
any of the
and
details?
there's no reports.
Yeah, I'm not sure like where the reporting information is being done because this is mostly the marshals assisting, and we've had a couple of interrogations, but nothing else. So, all right. So I guess I'll start off with a preface. We are treating this very, very seriously because there are some very serious implications based off of the way this investigation goes. So we're basically keeping this information exclusively to the director of the marshals, myself, Frost, Mustard, Ventura, and then you two are the only other people that would know, and Ruth as well. I guess I'll just kind of just get the main details out there. Right before the prison break, the day before the prison break, and the day of, one of our deputies was repeatedly in contact with one of the escapees, Lang Buddha. He was being called from a prison phone and was also sending him calls in return. We don't necessarily know the content of what these discussions contain, but they were relatively short in nature, from 30 seconds to a minute and a half at most. So they weren't really like long conversations as far as we can tell. Now there's a lot of implications that can be potentially drawn from this. It could be a lot of things, could just be him talking to him, it could be nothing, right? That in of itself was definitely something that was concerning, that was noted. But after further examination and further subpoenas were sent through, the records were gone. We realized that there's only a few people that Lang had been talking to. He'd been talking to Aubrey Webster, Speedy, and Bjorn. And it was quite concerning to us that one of our deputies was in contact with a lifer, potentially in an inappropriate manner, without bringing the information to us if it was related to any of the investigations that were ongoing, right? It does just seem quite concerning that an officer would be talking to an escapee or a potential escapee like that. But again, it could be nothing, right? So we pulled him into an interrogation because we wanted to know a little bit more about what happened. What were the calls about? What was taking place essentially? Like why are there so many back and forth calls between you and this person right before he escapes the prison? We have a full recording of that interrogation. I don't know exactly where it is, but I could probably get it to you if you two really cared to listen to it. And the answers that he gave were not really that impressive. He was quite evasive with the answers he was delivering. He misrepresented his own words and kind of twisted himself into knots multiple times, and basically just painted the portrait of a person that's just trying to cover something up. And again, we don't know what it is, why he's lying about what. We don't know, but it's just very concerning behavior. And we're waiting on the results of some even further subpoenas that were sent out. We're waiting on the results of some further subpoenas before we.
Hello?
You were. I just.
Trying to talk to Knight and Frost just to get details on why, right, or even what was going on, or even finding out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Need some privacy.
Oh, yep.
Was like a pooling absolute shit show.
I understand.
I feel like I don't understand why there isn't any high command reports. I mean, there's no high command leaks.
Well, that's the thing. I don't
wonder
know
who
if
talks
people
to
really
Lang
believe
more.
that.
Is it Brian Knight or Bjorn?
I don't know. Listen. It's talking to someone in himself is not necessarily the biggest deal. Okay, like I've talked to Lang, you've talked to Lang. We've all done it, right? It's more so about the context in which it occurs.
Did you say also on a prison phone?
Yeah, Lang was on a prison phone.
How would he even be privy to? How would Bjorn be privy to like his number?
Right. And so the point that we're getting at is there's a lot of questions that are raised from this conduct, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the main issue that I have with this is when we questioned him, the demeanor that he had was not one of someone who could be like, oh, I understand how this could look, but this is what was going on, and being, forthcoming and explaining. It was that of someone who had to have information pried from them and pulled from them. They're very evasive. He was very I mean, you can just watch it for yourself. I'll get you the recording and send it to you. A lot of these reports are being kept with the marshals, from my understanding. I know that there is. I don't know if Frost has his own. Quite frankly, I'm not entirely sure where the report is. I will admit.